It's a B rating from the board, but then that's to be expected because it's Barcelona. They're just making it match. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Careering Onwards with me, Mr. Grantu, here with FC Barcelona. And, well, it's 3 games today that could be very pivotal for the rest of our season. Yes, we are back for the second legs of our semi-final of the Copa del Rey against Valencia and the second leg of our Champions League first knockout round match against PSG. You can see what happened in the first legs there. It's been pretty good since last time. Not amazing, just okay in some aspects, but cup-wise has been very good. Of course, last time we beat Real Madrid on penalties to reach the semi-final of the Copa del Rey. But before we got to that, we beat Deportivo La Coruña 6-1 away from home. A fantastic performance. Hat-trick from Colin Nicholson once again. That's 2 hat-tricks in 3 games for him. At that point, Rubio, Corte and Havertz adding gloss on an already good scoreline. I thought, brilliant, excellent. We're scoring loads and loads of goals. It's going to be a fantastic end to the season. Not quite to be, but the first leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final was a 3-0 win against Valencia, which kind of makes the second leg pretty straightforward today, hopefully. 2 from Nicholson, 1 from Bolocqui as well. Then things went a little bit not particularly good. Well, a lot not particularly good. A 0-0 away at Alaves. They had 10 men for the final 15 minutes. We missed a penalty. Roberto Corte missing, not for the first time this season, and dropping 2 points. We then beat PSG 1-0. A Bolocqui free kick, getting the job done in the first round knockout match, first leg. And then, most disappointing of all, a 0-0 draw with a now Frank Lampard-less Real Sociedad at home. Very disappointing. 91,000 in attendance. Great to see that, but disappointing result. Dropping 4 points, and our lead is still a lead, but it's pretty much all but gone. A 2-0 win against Granada got us back onto an even keel as far as the league is concerned. But let's look at that first of all. We are still top. We still have a lead, but it's now only 1 point over Real Madrid. Those draws could prove incredibly costly. They're on a fantastic run of form at the moment, as well you would expect. And the problem is we've still got to play them again this season at the Santiago Bernabeu, and it's on the final day of the season. It's going to go down to the final day of the season, isn't it? It usually does, unless they have a sudden massive slip-up. We will have one La Liga match today, just the goals, the Eibar game in between the 2 cup games, but that is going to be the main focus today, the away legs of both of those. Now, the Copa del Rey semi-final is going to be up first of all against Valencia, obviously 3-0 win. We're looking pretty good to go through in that one. The Champions League one is going to be a little bit more touch and go, so some drama coming up for sure. Team for the game against Valencia, we're going to go full strength because I don't want any funny business. I mean, we could potentially rotate a little bit, but we're playing well. Everyone's happy. Everyone's in good form. I don't really want to ruin that. I mean, actually, is everyone in good form? Zivkovic is having shocking recent form. Let's tell him off. He was so good. His last few games have been terrible. Is he inconsistent? He's not inconsistent, but clearly we can see that he is. I think, yeah, I mean, I don't want any funny business. We're just going to go for it. We're going to go full strength, get the job done, hopefully get a goal early on, then we can start dropping the tempo, getting players off and things like that. But let's not run any risks at all against a very good Valencia side. We played them earlier on in the season. This guy up top, Moronta, is 30, but he's very, very well-rounded. One of the top goal scorers in the league so far, and of course Tom West, former Liverpool player. He's joining AC Milan at the end of the season. Very solid, reliable presence for me for England. Right, you deserve to be in this final. I expect you to make that happen. I would be extremely concerned if we begin the episode by chucking away a 3-0 lead. First highlight is a chance for Valencia, nearly scoring. Gordal making the save though. That was nervy. Obviously they need 4 goals. I'm not sure how away goals works. Probably not. Doesn't really matter. So 3 would get them extra time, but really they need 4 goals. So we can just keep it nice and tight. No more highlights. A 0-0 would be fine. I'd be happy with a 0-0 in both the cup games. And then a nice comfortable 2-0 in the league game would do me. That'd be nice. First half is disappearing in this one. That's the only chance so far. Although they have had 3 shots on target. We are doing little to nothing in this one. We've got to be careful. Furman's in. Jean-Marie Furman. And, yep. No, I mean, what was that? What was I saying about complacency? You know, we played a full strength side here to avoid complacency, and that's exactly what we're doing. It's a fantastic strike from him, you have to say. Brilliant goal. And, I mean, they've got a lifeline. They are completely bossing this one. 5 shots on target. We have done nothing. Can we do something here? Fernandez working down the left-hand side. Zivkovic, we've told him off. That's not encouraging, but we've managed to keep the ball. He's got it back again. Cuts inside. Slips in Nicholson, who went early and the wrong side. We've got a corner though as a result of it, and it's fallen to Nicholson again, and he's given the ball away to Tom West, and luckily that's the end of it. But nervy start from us as Corte just about keeps hold of it, lays it off to Salvador, flings it out to Zivkovic, ball across to Bolocki, and that should have been 1-1, but it's not. One more chance for us before the break. Havertz on the ball, looking for a bit of magic from him in his ageing legs. Bolocki on the turn, and that, well, should have been a goal from Bolocki. It's not, but Zivkovic gets back to some form and puts the rebound in. So no matter. This was a lovely move. Bolocki holds the ball up really well, takes his time. Brilliant save from the goalkeeper, but Zivkovic is able to squeeze it in on the tightest of ankles, and we are back in this game, and 4-1 in the tie. We have to say we're looking pretty good. If away goals do matter, then we are now in an extremely good position. I mean, whether away goals matter or not is probably the kind of thing I should really look up before. Bolocki's got an injury, twisted knee. That's not a particularly serious one, but we will obviously get him off, given the position we find ourselves in. Trent with a deep free kick. Can we take the lead? Yes, we can. Pedro Luis scores. Is he onside? He is onside. It was a little bit of a hold up in that one because of the substitutions going through, but he is. An assist from Trent. Luis, I mean, I thought it was a header, not a header. Lovely finish. Didn't even look over the shoulder, and then he knew exactly where it was. Beautiful goal from one of our centre-backs, and we have the lead in this one, and we're 5-1 up overall. I think we are fine, and I'm going to start making some changes. Torrego's going to come on for the first goal scorer, is Zivkovic, and then we're going to drop the tempo down to a standard one to just make sure we don't get any silly injuries caused by running too much. Alright, one more change to make. Havertz is probably the most tired, but then, I mean, Trent, I think, actually is the player I'm going to take off. Stojkovic has played occasionally at right back and done okay, but I think that is going to be that. There's not really much they can do. Wasn't really much they could do even from the start. They had a good start. They could have got back into it, but we showed our discipline to not only stop them from doing that, but to beat them in the match and the tie. 5-1 overall, 2-1 on the night. Very good indeed. We're into the Copa del Rey final, and we will be playing in that final. Not Atleti. They've been knocked out by Sevilla. It is Sevilla. We will play 4-2 on aggregate for them. Sevilla versus Barcelona in the final. That one is going to be good. That is to look forward to. Not too far away in April. They have it quite early on. That with the Valencia game, maybe, it depends on what happens with the Champions League, really, if we get through, how that will affect things, but it will certainly be something that we get back to soon. Now, Bolocki out for 4 to 6 days. He's going to miss the game against Eibar, but actually that's kind of alright, gives him a bit of a rest before the game against PSG. Right then, league game against Eibar at home, essential. They're 17th in the league. Essential that we win this one after some recent slip-ups, dropping some points. Hopefully, Sociedad can do us a favour against Madrid as well. They cannot. They cannot. 2-1 win for Real Madrid. They go above us in the table now. We will go back above them with a win, but yeah, the first time we've really lost the lead for a while. Disappointing. We need to make sure we're winning this one and getting back up on top. Bolocki's obviously going to miss this one with his little injury. We'll bring on Ruano in his place. I mean, we'll bring Jordi on the bench. He's really good in a lot of ways, but he just sort of lacks the finishing for me to sort of maybe play him. I mean, he's kind of natural as a complete forward, really, which is probably more than Colin. I mean, we'll put him on the bench, sort of see how he does, but yeah, no, that he a player who I've literally not played at all season, and he scored 12 goals for them last season, so, I mean, maybe we should be. It's just the 13 finishing, I'm not all about that, but we'll see how he does today. Now, obviously, it's a risk playing a full-strength side in this one, given the fact that we've got PSG coming up, but it's a risk we can't avoid given the league situation, and it's paying off so far. Denis Ivkovic with his 17th of the season to give us the lead. We're back on top as things stand. And we've got a penalty, Roberto Corte to take. Beautiful football to win this one as Corte buries it. It's like watching Barcelona. That's how good it was. That's how good it was. I am aware that we are Barcelona, but it's just nice to see it. Brilliant penalty from Corte. If only he'd done that against Alaves, we wouldn't be in this situation. That's his 15th of the season, many of them from set pieces. But yeah, he's had a brilliant year. Zivkovic is involved today a lot as well. And I should have just kept talking. Colin's got his 21st of the season. As a result of that highlight, I think I'll probably leave the whole bit in, and you can see back pass, completely falls asleep. Colin mugs him off. He's not going to miss from there. 3-0. This one is done. They're not having a very good game at Eibar. You can see why they're towards the foot of the table. Comical own goal from Olai Zola now. Ruano celebrating it like he scored an absolute wonder goal. He didn't do anything. And maybe we should have been playing Geordie more this season. Maybe we'd score a few more goals. He's off the bench on the left wing, and he's done that, which is rather special. 5-0. This one was done a long time ago, but that's given me pause for thought for the rest of the season. And it's an absolute rout, folks. Corte's got another one. That's an absolute pile driver. 6-0. 6-0. It's not the first time we've scored 6 this season. Wish we'd done it a bit more often. We'd be more than just the 1 point clear. But we are 1 point clear. We are back on top of the league. That was fantastic. Alright, let's make sure everybody is fully rested for the game against PSG. I think it's more important than that they actually go to training, is that they're nice and rested and fit. And we will play the Parisians in 3 days' time. Not for the first time in this save, and not for the first time in this save. It's very finely balanced. Right, now obviously we didn't buy anyone in January because we just didn't really have much money and it didn't make sense. It made sense to wait till the summer. We don't have any money at all at the moment. They've decreased the transfer revenue retainment down to 30%. It's very reminiscent of Bayern Munich. Clubs are not very good at managing their money. Now we have spent a lot of money. We spent a lot of money in the summer, but still, it's not. This is the wage bill, 5.3 million a week, which is ridiculous. We are definitely going to need to improve things in the summer. Some players are obviously going to be moving on. De Ligt, who is on a hefty 350 grand a week, he's already going to be leaving. He's joining Shanghai in the summer. Other players will be almost certainly moved on as well. Fabio Silva will definitely be leaving, and we will get rid of his £400,000 a week from the wage bill. Not ideal. A good run in the Champions League, though, would help us out immeasurably. Now, I wasn't sure if away goals really count for much in the Copa del Rey semi-final, but they definitely do count for a lot in Champions League knockout round matches. We are 1-0 up against PSG from the first leg. That was at the Nou Camp, though. This is at the Parc des Princes, and they're obviously in a pretty strong position, only being 1-0 down, but any away goals for us would help us out a lot. But Borussia Monchengladbach, our former club, who of course actually beat us in the group stage this year, they're 3-0 down to Watford, which, I mean, we're a long way in the future. Watford, we have mentioned them before. They're very good. Didier Deschamps still in charge. He did have that sort of spell where he was all over the place, but now he's been at them for 7 years now, and he's done a brilliant job. They didn't get a tycoon takeover, just a consortium one, but they've done very, very well for themselves recently. And interestingly, their captain here, Maxwell Rodrigo, I didn't notice this till recently when I came to edit the episodes. He was actually in our squad for the Olympic Games when we were in charge of Brazil, because his alternate nationality is Brazilian, but he was born in Brazil, but he came through. His nation trained in England because he came through the youth intake at Wolves, and then went to Scotland for a bit. Did really well in Scotland, Benfica, and then now at Watford. See, I have actually capped him for England because he's pretty good. He's not first choice for any position or even second choice, but we had an injury issue at right back. He came in and he's a really good player. But just a classic, interesting football manager story. So good luck to Watford, although obviously we would like to see our former employers, BMG, getting through in that one. But our focus is on this one. It's PSG. It's PSG. They have been ever present in the save wherever certainly once we got to Liverpool, they've been ever present. We've knocked them out before. They've knocked us out before. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but we have got the advantage. Now the question really is, Bolocki is not particularly fit. 82% conditioning, going to be good enough for the bench. I feel harsh. Feels harsh for Geordie. Do we keep Geordie on there? Torrego has done okay. Geordie's not left-footed. He's not left-footed, but he's used to playing on the left-hand side. Does he actually have it? He's got a weak left foot, which is not good enough for me. If it was fairly strong, then I would do. I'm going to go with that, but Bolocki's going to be on the bench with Ruano starting because he's not particularly fresh, but obviously he can come off the bench if we need to. Otherwise, no changes from what we played in the previous two games. Gordao is going to be in goal. Fernandez, Luis, Rubio and Alexander-Arnold the defence. Salvador Corte and Havertz in the midfield. Zivkovic on the left and Nicholson up front. And of course, Ruano on the right-hand side. There's going to be plenty of familiar names in the PSG lineup, that is for sure. Many familiar names. Some ageing players, though. Ageing players. Cabrera, who we signed at Borussia Monchengladbach. He's at the back for them alongside Ruben Diaz, who is now 36. He's still got 11 pace, though. That's how good he is. Wagner was part of our Brazil squad. He's not bad. They've still got Rodrigo on the left. He's only 33. And then, of course, you know this man up front, 35 years old, still got it. Like Mohamed Salah before him, age is just a number for Kylian Mbappe. He prefers the amount of goals he's going to score. Some other familiar names throughout the side. They're probably the last team that has this many real players in their starting lineup. 4 real players in the starting 11. We only have 2 in the form of Havertz and Alexander-Arnold. But good players are always good. Good players are always good. I should also say that Gabriel Payan on the right-hand side is, he's very good. He's very good. So this is going to be nervy. I'm going to say, go with the don't get complacent from the first leg. I don't think we're really the favourites from this. PSG at home, we've only got 1 goal, and that's not what you want to see. 1 minute in, Denis Zivkovic, who has overall been our best player this season, is injured. I'm glad I put Torrego on the bench. But, that sucks. What's actually happened to him? Potential lower leg injury. Has he broken his leg? Have they broken his leg? He's pulled up, which doesn't look like a broken leg. Hopefully it's just some sort of sprain or something. I was worried it was a tackle and he probably is going to be out for the rest of the season, but it hopefully won't be too bad. Obviously our weakest position, so that's great, reassuring. Trent with a free kick though, who cares? Pedro Luis heads home, scored in the last game, scores in this one. Well, the last game that we played in full, he scored against Valencia, didn't he? This one is a header, and it's very similar to his previous goal, same position, but this one is with his head. I'm just rambling really. 1-0 away goal in Paris. We have got the advantage. Vital stuff. I mean, it's a ding-dong clash in Germany. 2-1 in the match between Mönchengladbach and Dortmund. We got another chance. Trent Alexander-Arnold, not his best effort, not his vintage strike, and it's going to be a highlight, I think. Well, no, Cabrera has been robbed by Colin. The defence gets back to cover well, but Torrego's still going through, and it's in. Cabrera again with a poor defensive effort, and Colin Nicholson grabs his 22nd of the season. Really has been in fine goal-scoring form in recent weeks. This was really nice. Cabrera gave the ball away initially. Torrego beats the challenge of Carlos, takes the shot, and then Cabrera again cannot mark Colin, and we have got a 2-0 lead, 3-0 overall, 2 away goals. It's going, apart from the injury, exceptionally well. I appreciate the effort, boys. We can't do any better than that, really. Another free kick from Trent. We've seen nothing from PSG, and we're not going to see anything from PSG. It's 3-0. Roberto Corte, once again, responding on a big occasion with a big goal, getting through a crowd of bodies there to put that one away. 3-0. There's history between these two sides in the Champions League, and throwing away big leads, it's not going to happen today, is it? Right, the game between Monchengladbach and Watford, by the way, absolutely mental. 3-2 to Watford in that leg now. They're winning 6-2 overall. They're going to be going through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We need to make some changes. Trent is going to come off for Stojkovic, and then Ruano is going to come off for... I'm not going to risk Bullock. He will bring on Diop. It's a chance for PSG. Arnav's, of course, sold by us after his forced transfer to Liverpool. He's out for revenge. He's not done anything there to impress me at all. And Torrego is clear. Acres of space to run into. Is this a real highlight? It is a real highlight, but it's not a goal. They've made all their changes now as well to try and chase this. There's no chance, no time whatsoever for them to get back in. They might get a consolation, but that is all it will be. They're not even going to get that. Salvador shuts down Payan. Tarago is clear. And I don't know where this is going to go. They might get a chance. They might get a goal back. Nasi Univar, another real player for them, on the left. And Stojkovic shuts it down. He's not even a natural right back, but he shuts them down. He's the modern day James Milner. We are absolutely just taking the mickey out of them now. Some beautiful passes. Diop should make it 4. He doesn't. It doesn't really matter. We are playing like Barcelona of old. Like Barcelona are meant to. We are top of the league, we're in the final of the Copa del Rey, and we're in the quarter-final of the Champions League. PSG 0, Barcelona 3. Barcelona win 4-0 on aggregate. That was absolutely brutal as far as we're concerned. Brilliant performance. 3-all. Mönchengladbach tried their best, but Watford are really good. 6-3 to Watford on aggregate. They go through. We won't see who we played today. Zivkovic is only out for 2 to 3 weeks. I will take that all day long when it's a lower leg injury. Colin, you are just amazing. His head is so narrow. Such a narrow-headed individual, but he is a fantastic player. Right, make sure everyone's rested. Don't get too caught up in the moment. Got to think. On to the next game. Which is a game against Huesca in La Liga. And we've got quite a few La Liga games to go, but that's when the Champions League quarter-final is going to be, and it's going to be just before the Copa del Rey. So, I mean, well, what do we do about that? Clearly the second leg of the quarter-final, and then the Copa del Rey final, but I think we want to see both legs. When you get to the quarter-final, you want to see both legs of that, so I think we could potentially do a very long video, and then just literally the result of the Girona game, and then both legs of the quarterfinal, and then the Copa del Rey final. But then maybe we have the Copa del Rey be a separate thing. I think that's what we'll probably do. We'll be back next time then. Both legs of the Champions League quarterfinals, then we'll do the goals of the Girona game. So similar to what we did today. And then the Copa del Rey gets its own special episode, potentially with the Valencia game as well, but potentially just the Copa del Rey final. And well, I hope you'll join me for that one. It's going to be interesting. We've got 4 away games in a row in La Liga, including against Villarreal and Sevilla. If we come out of those unscathed, I will be a very relieved man. Real Madrid are good, and they're very close to us, and that's concerning for me. They've actually won more games than we have. Just one. They've won more games than we have, though, and it's the draws that have let us down a bit this season. Hopefully we can find a way through, and if we are still top of La Liga when we come back for the Champions League quarter-final against someone unknown at the unknown stadium, then that will be very good indeed. But that is for next time. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you for more action then.